Have you ever watched the Marvel movies? You know, the most successful franchise in the history of film? Well, I haven't, but my brother has. So now it's time to watch them all, and we're going to tell you what we think. I'm Dead Panda, and this is the MCU Review. Alright, so goddamn Captain America.
Yeah. Yeah, Captain. How about that Captain America?
Man, I fucking enjoyed the shit out of it. I really did. The beginning of it, especially. Like, the more that it gets in as it goes on, and the stuff with him, with the main character and his love interest, that's not the best. I think I actually like the Red Skull better as what's the actor's name that was in the Matrix that plays the Red Skull?
Hugo Weaving.
That's his name? The guy that was Agent Smith?
Yeah, his name's Hugo Weaving.
Wow. That's a cool fucking name. But I liked it better whenever he didn't have the fucking rubber. Well, he takes off a mask, but really in real life he's putting on a red mask.
Yeah, it's one of those weird
Right.
things where like it's his face, and then they have
Yeah.
to put rubber on his face, and then like an extra thing for him to pull off and pretend. It's like you pulled off a mask, but your head got slightly larger. Like,
Yeah, like what the fuck are these? Like it's around his eyes, like it like comes
yeah,
out
it's
like
like
this wide.
his cheekbones and like his forehead ridge is just like
Yeah.
angry, just standing out. It's
Yeah,
just,
if that was underneath somebody's skin, like just a mask, they would look nuts.
it's like it was the mask holding those in somehow.
Yeah. Like
Push.
really, like out of all the different kinds of technologies as that they showcase in the movie, like the flying cars and all that, that mask, they don't even get into how it works, but that's the most amazing fucking thing in the whole movie.
It's more important. That's way more impressive than the submarine or the laser guns.
Yeah.
Did that mask conceal the bone face that was underneath?
Yeah, it's fucking creepy looking. And it's cool that they concealed it for a while, but just I don't know. Maybe I could see if you were a fan of the comic books or whatever, because he's like like a classic comic
Yeah.
book bad guy or whatever. Yeah. So
Uh, but I love this movie too. Like this one has a real soft spot, especially for the early Marvel movies. It's not quite as good as the first Iron Man, but it's really, really good. Solid movie.
yeah.
And there's a lot of parts in it that jump out at you and that you don't see coming, and you almost specifically like when Bucky falls off the side of the train. It's like for a second you're just like, oh shit, that just happened.
Yeah.
It's
You
like,
know, you're right about that. Because there's that part where in every fucking movie, he like there's the part where the guy first shoots the professor, like hype shot him up with the stuff and got him all going, and that guy shoots him, and then there's the chase.
yeah.
Well, right before he catches the guy, he gets on the submarine. He takes that little boy he has like hostage, and he throws him in the water. And you're like, oh fuck, this is like every goddamn movie Scooby Doo shit where he's going to have to save the. I can't swim, and you're like, I
Why
hate
can't
this
you
in
swim?
movies. But he's like, oh, I
Yeah.
can swim. Just go ahead. And you're like, fuck yes. I wanted to stand up and fucking kick the TV through the wall. I was so fucking happy. I was like, yes, that is that, because the water didn't need to be there. It could have been anything else, but just that little thing was like, fuck yeah, kick
Yeah.
his ass.
It's like for once, it's like how come every time in a movie when you put someone in danger, does it just magically happen that that person has no capability whatsoever to get out of the danger? Even when
Right,
it's something as simple as like throwing someone in water, it's always like you've magically chosen the one person who couldn't swim.
right. Yeah, yeah. If you did that in real life, like if reality worked that way, I mean, you would be saving people, and people would be dying all the time. You know?
Oh no, a locked door.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Yeah, it's so true. Oh man. But
But the
yeah,
movie's really
you're
it's
100% right about that.
There's some little moments in there where like it's so cool these days to like subvert your expectations or whatever. But there's a part here and there in this movie that really does that, and it's smart, and you appreciate it as it happens.
What about another thing from that chase scene? Speaking of smart, wherever he's chasing and his body weight's like different, so he's like, like he fucking cuts that corner, and he goes
I,
flying through the fucking.
that's one of my favorite parts in the movie
That's
is
smart.
he's not used to it. Like he's a foot taller and he's at least 120 pounds, 130
Yeah,
heavier than he was. So and he's moving so fast, like he's running, and he even looks down at himself like he can't believe how fast he's going.
yeah,
As he tries to round a sharp corner, he goes into
yeah,
the bridal shop.
yeah. All that fucking weight.
Yeah, and running in his bare feet on the slick uh, cement on the sidewalk. You're like, yeah, I mean, of course, if you had no idea, you'd never tried to turn a corner before, you've never been this tall, you've never weighed this much, you've never run this fast, and
Yeah,
of course, there's going to be a thing here that's going to take you a minute to figure out how your new body works.
yeah. It was such a realistic moment for the movie. Like it's like that would happen.
It helps ground you in. It helps you forget that, like, you're literally just watching someone get injected with a chemical and then become a superhero.
Yeah,
Doesn't his torso make you want to kill yourself?
man, he's in good shape. Yeah, he's in incredible shape.
I actually think he overdid it a little bit. Like
Yeah,
he blew right past pecs and went straight to full blown titties.
yeah, because he like
Like
whenever he first comes out,
he's
like his arms are back, and most dudes, even their arms are back, like if the chest comes up, you can't see a whole lot. Like when dudes flex their
yeah,
chest, it's like you bring it in, but
yeah,
like his arms are back, and he's still like fucking stacked. Like
like
Jesus Christ.
full blown tatas.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just like, well, just keep my shirt on for the rest of my life then. Even in
yeah,
the
yeah. I reacted similar to how she did. It's like she like starts to touch him,
just
and she's like,
like want
"You
to
look
pet the screen.
taller."
Just, uh, if
Yeah,
only, if only. Uh, but I thought she was really good.
I
Um,
like her in the movie. She doesn't annoy. She's not annoying. She's really good. She's very good
yeah,
at like. There's a lot of close-ups of her face, and not so much of him, but like anytime they're reacting, they're close together. The screen is always on her face, and she does a lot just with her face. Just the way
yeah,
she
like
like she darts, like she looks around and darts her eyes at him.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
fucking awesome.
just the way her eyes move and the way just like an eyebrow here or a little twitch and like
Yeah,
a whole meaning in her face, the whole emotion will change just with like a little thing.
yeah, it's really good. Like
Yeah.
she's got some fucking cred when it comes to being on the screen.
Yeah. And, I think that's one reason why it comes off so well is Natalie Portman really phoned her performance in Thor. I think that's pretty clear.
Yeah,
She there are movies she tries in, and there's movies she doesn't really try in. It's like the paycheck movie. She's just like, well, I'm here, and I'll say what you want me to say. Uh, but I can't remember her name, but she played Peggy Carter, is Agent Carter. Her character name. I cannot think of the actress's name. She's really trying, and it shows. Like, and it makes you care more just based on that. Just
yeah,
on that, it makes you care more about her character and their connection, just based on the fact that she's pulling you in as
yeah.
she's making you invested in how she feels just with like her face.
Right.
And
Yeah,
you're
I agree 100%. And then like and I also think that it gives it that little bit of something extra whenever they're sitting in the car and she's like interested in him, even though that he's not like in fucking Thor, he's fucking beefcake the entire time, and the whole time she's like, "Oh God, he's so fucking hot." But she's
yeah,
interested, like she's not like I'm gonna fuck this guy, like she's not dying for it, but she's interested. But he makes the dance line or whatever that he wants to.
yeah,
He's waiting for the right
he's waiting
partner.
for the right partner, and it's you can see it in her face like a little bit. She's like, well, I'm I'm not dying for it, but I might dance with his little, little self. I might,
Yeah, she'd
I
fuck his little ass. Yeah, she'd pick him up, cup his little skinny butt, ride it into her. Get in there.
she has to
Cup his
just
little
like
skin.
grab him.
Yeah, come here, come here.
like she does all the work for him, and he just like, oh,
She would be. It'd actually be kind of fun. Shit, I'd be down for that.
dude, that scene where she walks into the bar,
She
that
looks
scene where
amazing. Yeah,
like
yeah, the red dress and
it's
everything. And I
very
love how
realistic, even.
how like just something about this makes me want to like just because it's a film makes me want to travel back to the 50s or whatever, just kind of be or 40s and be in that time. Even though if you really did it, it would be awful. But
Yeah,
just the way the movie flows, and then you see the girl, everybody's like dressed really dingy, like browns and grays, and then she comes in the red, it pops. It's just
yeah.
fucking awesome. Like nowadays, like everybody's wearing brightly colored jackass shit all the time.
She walks into, it's like, if you want to talk about empowerment, you want to talk about like a powerful woman,
Fuck yeah.
you don't even see her come in. It's like you got a bar full of rowdy, drunk soldiers in the 1940s. Like
Yeah.
Nazis all day. That's what these guys do. And they're singing a song that like everyone knows the words to. It's like a drinking song. In
Yeah.
the middle of it, and they're really into it, and slowly they just
Yeah,
gets
dude.
quiet, and then you see she has shut the room down. She shut
Yes.
down just by entering.
And 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 I think even if it's like the fact that it takes place in the 40s and 50s, you can let that scene go. But it's, I swear to God, we've like showed women in our culture nowadays that to be an object of desire is a bad thing. That's like how a man disrespects you or something. But that
Yeah,
is not true. Like when it comes to human beings, like when you can look in nature with different species, there's fucking brightly colored dudes are just like, fucking puffing their chest out and shit. That's the girls of humans. Like they fucking
yeah.
yeah, that's what
You need,
men want
those,
you to do.
you need one of those, just like a little video of that little bird that does the dance. And
Yeah.
just stick out. It stands on the branch and does a little.
Yeah,
It's really
that's what women do. And that's why like even magazine covers, it's like hot women on the cover. They're always looking at you. It's women's magazines, it's men's magazines. That's
yeah,
they're the signally flashy thing.
yeah. And it's
Like
like,
everybody likes a good-looking woman.
yeah. I mean, if you're on some kind of video medium like YouTube or Twitch or something like that, and you're an attractive woman, you're going to get more female viewers. And I'm not even
Yeah.
like not talking about like any kind of attraction to you in like a sexual or romantic fashion. Like heterosexual women will watch a pretty woman before they watch an ugly woman.
Yeah. That's true, you know, and that's like whenever people like to sit around and they try to dish out advantages and disadvantages. That is an advantage, but then we also mentioned the same thing about the ugly woman. That bitch is
Ugh,
fucked. That bitch is fucked, and that's a hard
that's
life.
yeah,
Yeah, how do you
that's a
come back from that? But yeah, man.
one thing you don't do is demand people make you an object of attraction
Right.
without putting any work in, and then at the same time act offended if someone is attracted to you. Just like, I demanded you put me on the magazine. I deserve to see myself on the magazine
Right.
cover. And just like, how dare you look at me? Put me on the magazine, but don't look at the magazine. It's
Yeah, or you just like go and you become like a professor and you write books about how objectifying women is so horrible, and you try to make other women dress like shit. That way, you're fucking it doesn't you fit in, it's all the same. You bring them down a peg or two and it's not the gap isn't as wide.
yeah.
Yeah, it's awful.
There's no envy behind that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Fucking hell.
but,
Like that woman that was in that Jordan Peterson was said the crazy activist where she was giving that speech talking about masculinity and what was it, the colonization and Western patriarchy and just all this crazy shit.
just talking about vegetables.
And you can tell by looking at the woman, it's like this woman here had to go out and be a fucking professor or whatever because nobody's interested in this bitch. So you got to go out and just try to just shit on everything, the patriarchy. But if she had been a dime, and I really mean this, if she had been a dime piece, she would have never come up with any of that shit. That would have none of it. She'd be sitting at home, fucking. She'd be like, "Oh, life is good, fucking patriarchy." She wouldn't give a fuck, you know.
But where would you rank Captain America, do you think, of the ones we've watched so far, out of Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Thor, and Captain America?
Man, that's a good question. It's definitely better than Thor, but I'm not sure if both. I can't remember which Iron Man I like the best. Iron Man one's really fucking good.
I think Iron Man 1 in that, like, this first few, I think is probably the best.
Yeah,
I think they came out guns blazing, and Robert Downey Jr. is just incredible.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I think you'd almost have to put it below both of the Iron Mans. Like, I don't want to. Like, it's a good movie. I don't want. That's not a diss on it at all. It's just like, fuck, man. He's Robert Downey Jr. was just made to play that part and everything. He
But
can't.
Captain America, there's just, I don't know. Thor's not awful, but there's just so much it
No.
doesn't work in it.
Yeah.
There's just so much it doesn't work, and it immediately follows Iron Man 2, and then is immediately followed by Captain America. So it's like this weird. It's definitely like a V. It's like Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America. It's like
Yeah.
definitely a dip in the quality there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you said that the Thor they start to work Thor out a little bit of their next few
as it
attempts.
goes, as it
Yeah.
goes, there's a lot.
And I'm curious, is there less of the home world, what is it, Asgard, or whatever, less of that as time goes on?
Um, the next time Thor shows up is in Avengers.
Mm.
And
I
then
know I
there's
seen at the end of the movie the fucking that Loki. I see it like for like a half a second. You see him. He's like riding on. He's like holding like a rod or something or his staff or whatever, and he's
yeah.
riding the back of a truck. And I was like, oh,
Uh,
that's gonna be fucking awesome. That's gonna be fucking awesome.
Man, I honestly can't wait to watch Avengers. I
Yeah.
can't. It's a it's fireworks, man. Like, for sure. Like, at the time, I remember thinking, like, because I hadn't gone to see it and I hadn't seen all the Marvel movies, and everybody was making such a big deal about it. I was like, why does everybody care about stupid little Avengers? You know,
Well,
and
I know what you mean. I felt like that for like fucking 20 years now. So I'm right there with you.
but I've come around a lot on the first Avengers. I don't think Joss Whedon's jokes are super funny, and they definitely don't get funnier the more you watch.
Yeah.
Uh, with repeat viewings, but like I said, he really understands. Like, that's why all his shows are like this. You have a cast of different sort of heroic characters, and most of the story is about how they bounce off of each other. That's how Buffy
Yeah.
is. That's Firefly is, and so you can really understand wanting him to do Avengers, because you've got these established strong personalities, and how do they interact with each other?
Yeah.
Uh, but we'll get there when we get there. Uh, I
Yeah.
think Chris Evans does a great job as Cap. I think he's
Yeah.
in great and at first you're afraid he's going to be like Dudley Do Right. Like, you're afraid he's literally just going to, like, ride a horse and just be like, "I'll save you," and just, like, with a fake
Yeah.
on his
And they
face.
even do let him do that a little bit while he's like, but they make it seem useless when he's like on the stage and he's like punching
Yeah.
Hitler or whatever. But they ham it up a little bit.
He's the star-spangled man with a plan.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
they're tipping their hat, like they know that this is could be seen as a little goofy, you
Yeah, for
know.
sure. Uh, but just the whole story of the movie works really well for me. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
me
I did a complete 180. Just hearing the name Captain America, that sounds awful to me. Like just as a superhero, but man, I did a 180. I'm sold on it. It was really good.
like, the opening scene is great because it establishes our villain, and it clues us back to Thor a little bit. They talk about the World Tree, Odin's treasure room, um, Yggdrasil, and he breaks into the church and he steals the thing. And at first, it's just like, it's, you think he's got it, and then he drops it, and it just shatters. It's
Yeah.
like, but there was one thing right in that scene. I missed it before he walks in the room, before Red Skull walks into the room. There are guys, two or three guys, trying to open the thing, and there's a third, like a fourth guy, being like, Push
Yeah.
harder,
Yes.
faster, do it, open it.
Yeah.
And they can't. They're just like, they can't get it open. And then he walks in, just like the coolest guy in the world, just like immediately owns the room, and just slowly walks down towards it, and then just like with one hand, he just
Yeah. I didn't catch that the first time I watched it either, but I caught it when I watched it the
yeah,
second time.
and
Yeah, that's interesting.
it immediately. I mean, he's at very least much stronger than four grown men,
Yeah.
and he's in charge of all these people. And it's like little ways you build threat in your
Right.
antagonist.
But that does say something that neither one of us noticed that originally. It's something about the way I think because they're introducing him. Like whenever you introduce somebody, doing it that way is weird because it's
I,
not in the same scene. It's like
I
it's
picked
split.
up I picked up that he easily pushed it across. I just sort of missed the bit where the other guys couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I'm exactly the same way.
yeah,
But it's still good. It works really good. It's fun.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I caught it the second time too. I
I
like
love
that.
the like. It's the whole scene is just about getting his personality across and sort of the level of
He's
threat he
yeah.
presents.
You don't fuck
And
with him and he's really smart and competent.
yeah, and he's just like the guy tries to tell him that it's just a myth, and he's just like, well, then why are you trying so hard to hide it? Like,
Yeah.
clearly you don't think it's a myth. That's why you've wasted your whole life in this church.
Yeah.
And then when he pulls the thing out of the wall, and immediately it's much more impressive. He opens it, and you don't even see it. You just the light hits his face.
Yeah.
Like, you've never seen this, have you? And he's like, it's not for the eyes of ordinary men. He just goes, exactly, and just closes it. Like, I ain't gonna let you see.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
I'm
good
not gonna let you
good
see
shit in
this.
there.
This is for me.
Yeah.
Uh, and then that Hydra symbol. That's that. I don't know if that's exactly the way it looks in the comic book, like the skull with the
Yeah.
tentacle.
It's on his car.
Yeah, like that's.
Somebody that must be from a fucking comic because they're all about that car in this movie.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
it comes out of nowhere, but I love it.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's a lot different than what they did with the fucking Audi and Iron Man. You know, they made sure you know what kind of car that one was. This one you only see from like the front. Like
yeah.
cuz it's probably like a fucking actual kind of car, but they don't want you to know. They're like, "Oh yeah, this is if you only
How
see the
much
front."
how much engine is in a car like
Holy fuck. Dude, back then they used to have like they literally had cars that were like 16 cylinders and shit. They'd be 16 cylinders, but they would only be like 40 horsepower. Like a real piece of shit. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. They're
that?
just like, fuck, I don't know. But that one sounds like a fucking beast.
Yeah, I love it. He's literally got like a rocket car that he drives around in. It's like,
Yeah.
again, it helps when your villain is cool. And
Yeah.
it also adds this weird little element of maybe like decadence to him. You know, like he insists on, it's like he has these tanks and these laser guns, but he also insists on having the hugest car in the world. And
Yeah.
even when he gives the keys to the his little sidekick, he's like, "Not a scratch, doctor, not a scratch."
I thought that scene was interesting. I didn't understand why did they ride separate? Because they could have both fit in the car. Why didn't they just take the car? Did he want to take the rocket? Did he land the rocket somewhere? Why
I
the
guess they
rocket? And was it a
do
rocket or was it a plane? It was a plane, rocket
it's like a
plane.
weird helicoptery plane thing.
I guess he wanted
Rocket.
to keep it. Maybe I don't know.
I guess maybe he just thought it was safer, like a surer method of escape. Like it's
Yeah,
going to be a lot to drive out of here, even in that car, than it will be just to fly out.
yeah,
Uh, the whole like Red Skull's introduction is great. We immediately understand he's a threat, and then we meet Steve, and he's in a movie theater, and there's a guy being a dick. You know, he's like Max Cady in the movie theater in Cape Fear, or like Sideshow Bob, you know,
yeah.
smoking the big laughing. He's like, start the cartoons. I want to watch the cartoons. I don't care about the war. And it's just like,
If
who
people are
is this guy?
crying in there, yeah,
Like, who is this turd of a man who, in the middle, like World War II is going on? Like,
yeah,
how dickish do you sound? Like, just right now, if you say you don't care about the troops, like right now, today in February of 2022, how dickish do you sound if you're just like, who cares about the troops?
Yeah.
You
Well, you
sound like
never
an
know. Hell,
asshole.
he might have fucking like drank like 2 Coca-Colas and they were full of cocaine or something. He's all fucked up.
I want to see Bugs Bunny, damn it.
Yeah.
Uh, it
Shit
could
was
have been,
fucked up back then.
dying of syphilis.
Yeah.
But he's being obnoxious, and we see what kind of guy Steve is. He's noticing like people are emotional. It's not just that he's pissed off. He really wants to enlist, so he, of course, he's interested. This might be the reason why he's there. He might be
Yeah.
there specifically to see the newsreel, and the movie is just like an afterthought. But dude's ruining it, and he tells him to pipe down, and then they're fighting in the alley, and we see he is the shrimpiest little guy.
Yeah.
He's petite, absolutely petite. He's like 5.5 feet tall, maybe 100 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah. Like his waist is like that big around.
Sick skinny, which just
Yeah.
makes the her grabbing his little butt and like doing the
Yeah.
for him,
Just cupping his little butt for him.
cup his little butt with his hands and just working. Uh,
Most little short guys are fucking packing though. It's like nature finds a way to fucking take care of them.
or maybe it just seems like they are, you
That's
know,
probably what it is. The backdrop.
just a little backdrop.
Yeah.
Uh, but he has that great line where the dude knocks him down a few times. And he's like, "I could do this all day." And we see it like, he's like that Frankie Edgar kind of guy where he's little, but he's got the heart of a lion.
Yeah.
It's like his heart doesn't care or doesn't know that he's so small. Um,
He
and we
picks
meet
up the
Bucky.
trash. He picks up the trash can.
That was great. Just like a little foreshadowing, like he tries to shield himself with the trash can lid. Um, and then they established, like Bucky's his best friend, and just the whole story of this very sort of frail guy who's super courageous, and he has the heart of a lion. And of course, like it's it's not just some war going on, or it's not just some conflict. It's like the conflict of all conflicts. It's like
Yeah.
of the world if we lose kind of warfare. And of course, he wants to go and fight like everyone else. He feels useless, like a coward or a slug, and he's probably felt small and weak his whole life, and not being able to fight probably just makes that worse.
Yeah.
And but he's got strength of character, and because of that, he gets an opportunity to prove himself, so that like a procedure will help his body be as strong as his spirit.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, that's
and
true. He does, and yeah, I like the way that they show him weak, and they let him be weak for a while. They come up with excuses for him
yeah,
to be for him to have his shirt off, like before he gets in the thing, he
yeah,
has his shirt off, and they show him in the military doing like the training exercises and shit before he gets
yeah,
pumped full of the juice
yeah.
and all that. Yeah, and he fucking hangs upside down and shit.
Struggles from the cargo nets, and the other guys are bullying him.
Yeah.
Um, and
Why
I
does the
love that.
guy? Why does the guy pick him? That scene was weird to me. Like he's just like eavesdropping, and he didn't get a whole lot. Like how much information can you really get from eavesdropping? Like I feel like in movies and cartoons and video games, like you can eavesdrop and like get like some deep fucking like insight into a person. But in reality,
Yeah,
like fuck, man, you can have conversations with people for weeks and not know who the fuck you're talking to. You know what I mean? But he
yeah,
fucking takes it. I mean, he does. It's not like he takes it from there and sticks him in the neck and gives him a shot. He does go through some shit, but I don't know. I just feel like did somebody fucking like he had a guy and he got sick in the back or you
that would
know?
be really weird if he were just like this creepy German scientist, just like here listening around corners, and as soon as he
Yeah.
hears the right thing, he just jumps out like a banshee and stabs him, just like super soldier.
You're Captain America now.
Like, oh, I didn't want this. Um,
Oh man,
it hurts. Why does it hurt so bad?
that would be cool as
Uh,
shit. That's what should have
like,
happened.
just
Yeah.
attack him. Um, but Stanley Tucci does a great job as again the character's name escapes me, but the professor who comes up with the formula, and he has the whole backstory about he gave it to Klaus Schmidt, and it sort of went wrong because the formula wasn't ready. Plus, he's like already evil,
Yeah.
and
And the way they do the
it sort
back
of just made
the flashbacks, it's like comic book looking.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah. It's like found a way to make it comic book, looking like a comic book, but not irritating like that
Yeah.
Hulk movie. Or
Yeah.
yeah, like we don't literally want to see comic book panels moving
Right.
around. That's kind
Boom, pow. That's fucking stupid
of
as shit.
yeah. It's
Wasn't there like a Batman and Robin that was like that?
that's the old Batman TV show when they would get into fights. They would like punch, and then it would freeze frame, and it would say like "pow."
Cause they did that because that's what the comic books did.
Yeah, to make it more
Ah,
like.
okay.
But it
Yeah.
was that music.
It was probably cool as shit back then.
You know,
Yeah. Shit, I probably watched the fuck out of that back then.
when I was little, I watched it. Uh, but yeah, it's I think Chris Evans does a great job as Cap. He's earnest, but like there's some depth to him. He is sort of like he's sort of wholesome, but he's also got like this little bit of like sadness. He doesn't fit in real well. He's sort of awkward. He's sort of like you can feel like he's trying to prove himself. Um, fucking Tommy Lee Jones, man. Tommy Lee Jones walks into this movie like a pimp, and just he's
Yeah.
just like, hey, what's going on? This is my movie now. It's mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like 9 or 10 minutes of screen time, but it's my movie now.
God, he's
Uh,
good. He
so
always plays the same kind of guy, it seems like, but he's fucking awesome at it.
yeah, but love the bit where like we get introduced to Agent Carter, where she comes in and she the guy just says something sort of out of line, and she makes him stand. It's like it's not it's if this was done today, it would be much cringier. It would be much cringier. She would just like walk straight up to him, and like he'd swing punches at her, and she'd like matrix dodge him, and then like hit him in the chest and knock him 12 feet into a bus.
Yeah.
Uh, but this, it's like she literally tells him, she's like, "Put your right foot forward." And when you put your right foot forward, she then hits him from this side, and he's off balance because he's got his right foot forward. That's why he
Yeah.
goes down. She hits him.
And she knocks the
Uh,
fuck out of it. I watched that. I had it like a what do you call it? Like a A to B. Where it was like
yeah,
pow, 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 pow as it was going through the things, and it's like 2 seconds. Like
yeah,
like it's insane. It's like 3 frames. Whack! Like the way that she moves is fucking nuts. The way they cut
but
it too, because they cut her like this, and then it goes to the back of her like hitting him, and then it cuts to him fall. It flips the other way.
yeah,
It shows him falling. So it's just the way it's
editing,
cut.
editing
It's
on
super
this,
fast.
yeah, it makes it seem a lot more violent. Like it's not just
Yeah,
it's big. It makes it seem like he really gets the shit knocked out of him and then
yeah.
falls in.
Nobody can
And
throw a punch as fast as it's thrown in the movie. It's nuts.
Tommy Lee Jones is just like, get your ass out of that dirt and stand there until someone tells you what to do.
Yeah,
He's got a little blood. He's like, yes, sir.
yeah,
But yeah, I love that part. And it's a great way to introduce her. And we see the dynamic between like Tommy Lee Jones and the soldiers, how she acts with the soldiers, how the other soldiers act towards them. Um,
he gets the flag.
that part is great where
Yeah,
everybody's going to jump up and, ain't nobody grabbed that flag in 17 years. And this time when he said, like, I've watched the movie at least a dozen times since it came out, but I watched it earlier today, and as he said that, nobody's grabbed that flag in 17 years. I just remembered, for some reason, I went back to Obadiah Stane in Iron Man 1. You know, it's like his whole character changes when he drinks the glass of scotch, and all of a
yeah.
sudden, very like,
He's drunk
like
as shit.
he's just drinking on an empty stomach. You ripped out my targeting system, Tony. And I don't know why I'm telling you all this. It's just like that's what I thought. I was like,
Yeah,
did this guy drink a glass of whiskey for breakfast? Why do we need to know that no one's got up that pole? Like, I
right.
understand the audience. It makes it more impressive to us to know no one's done it in 17 years.
Right.
But he's just, I'm gonna throw some backstory out on this flag for no damn reason.
Yeah, it's gonna make it really impressive when this little guy fucking gets that flag. Yeah. Oh man, that's fucking stupid. I
Yeah,
didn't
but like,
realize that, but it's true though.
yeah, he just throws it out there. I mean, it's not as bad, but you know.
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah, I thought that guy was annoying because he's like, "What are you doing?" or something. He's like, "Get over." I thought I said to get over here. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Then he
But he
hands it
just
to him. He gets to ride with
just
the
like
chick.
he like pulls the pin and then yanks the little hinge thing out, and as the flag, he just walks over, grabs it, hands him the flag. He's like, "Thanks." And
Yeah.
she has the best looks. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
She does so much with a look
It's amazing.
over and over again. It's like when the guy insults her before she hits him, before she says anything, you're like, she's gonna knock the piss out of this dude, and because you can see it on her face, she's gonna punch this dude.
Yeah.
And when he gets in the car after doing that, she's giving him like this. I don't know. It's hard to duplicate or explain, but it's just that like woman being impressed by the value of a man, but not like hugely. It's not like it's just like enough to take notice. Like she's taken notice of this. He's much more valuable than he seemed. You know, like
Yeah.
she's seeing like diamond in the rough. Like not
Yeah.
enough to like it up, but enough to go like, huh. Just
Yeah.
get. She's giving him a second glance, probably haven't written him off like everyone
Yeah.
else does. It's like she's
Right.
like, hmm. It's like there's something going on in this guy that
Yeah.
maybe
He's
you
got
know
a dick
he's
down to his knee. She's what she's thinking.
that's what she's really she saw him in the shower room earlier.
Yeah.
Really why the other guys bully him is they're
Yeah.
just and that's why he couldn't crawl under the thing. He kept like mashing it under his knee,
Yeah.
getting stuck.
Yeah.
And then they
That's
didn't
what
show you when he was hanging upside down on the car. It was actually his
by his
penis that
dick.
was tangled up. He was hanging by his
Yeah.
dick. Uh,
Yeah. They did. They. It was actually disqualifying when he pulled the fucking pin, but they didn't want to like wrap his dick around it, like fucking climb to the top of the pole. So they're like, "Fuck it, just let him pull the pin."
like an old, looks like a lumberjack climbing a goddamn tree with his belt.
Fucking stretchy dick.
Oh god, that's funny. So you need a picture right there. Boom, like of a lumberjack doing that shit with a belt.
Hell yeah, that's
Working on
fucking
a
man
telephone
shit.
pole. Guy hanging
Uh,
off a telephone pole with like his boots on the thing, working on something.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, but and then there are some shots in this movie where like his little, as I'm pretty sure what they did, and it's kind of obvious in a shot here or there, is they had a little guy act out the parts where he's small, and then he would do a pass like on a blue screen or a green screen, and then they took his face and stuck it on the little guy's body, and then like changed it around the outline
Yeah.
so big face didn't look strange, and they
Yeah.
kind of I think
And like
height
shrink his head down a bit.
like they made his cheekbones stand out a little more, and they made his chin a little more pointy, and like his jaw, like they right around the jawline. It's like you can tell like they've
Yeah. It's
not just
shadowed. It's shadowed differently. Yeah.
yeah, they didn't just awkwardly take his head and put it on another
No.
guy's body. They tried to paint it and alter it so that he looked emaciated.
Yeah.
Uh, and there's a scene here or there in the movie where it's like, okay, that probably looked great in 2011 when the movie came out, but that doesn't look great right now. But there's a couple of scenes where it's just like flawless.
Yeah.
Like even now, it's like to my eye at least, it's flawless.
Yeah.
And especially where they're talking about, he's like, I thought he'd be useful to you like a gerbil. I didn't think you'd actually pick him. He's like,
Yeah.
it takes to he pulls the pin and he throws the grenade.
The way that
That
he
scene,
pulls the pin on that fucking thing is badass as shit.
ha, like, that's
Yeah.
the cool way, just like to hold it and then just let the trigger go and just
Yeah. Yeah.
it takes it's,
That's fucking cool as shit.
grenade, and then when he jumps on it, as I'm watching it, I'm like, you can't tell where his face stops and the other guy's body begins.
Yeah.
It's it's so smooth, and it's like that had to be probably the one of the hardest ones because there's so much quick dynamic movement in that one. He has to run up, jump, dive, and then real
Yeah.
quick back, and then it's like there's a lot of dynamic movement in there that had to be
Yeah.
tricky.
Fuck yeah.
Uh, uh,
It's impressive as shit.
yeah, and every time I watch it, I'm impressed by it. Considering it's especially now it's 11 years old.
Yeah. I mean, nothing's as bad as that fucking episode of Sopranos. Where his mom's face. Oh my god, that is awful. Like it doesn't even make sense what's going on.
It's
You
like
remember that?
not reacting to what's happening in the room.
Yeah. Like he's like,
This-
right, mom? And she's like, it's like, what the fuck is that face? This is so stupid. It's like the only face they had that was in proportion with the way she was sitting there. That's good
why
enough.
couldn't, why couldn't they find one where she wasn't like reacting big, and then she could just sort of
Yeah.
it's like
Right.
just wouldn't
Yeah,
draw
but
any
she's
attention.
like, go on or something. It looks
Big sort of
crazy. Yeah.
it your eye goes immediately to her because she's moving a lot. It's like what is
Yeah. When I saw it, like I didn't know that actress was dead. When I saw it, I was like, she's dead. She died. That was exactly what I did. I was like,
dead?
she's fucking dead. Holy shit.
There's no other reason. There's no reason you can do that. That's dead.
No. Nobody would put that out looking like that.
I want some flowers to somebody. And my condolences. That bitch is dead.
That bitch is dead. Yeah. Oh
And
fuck.
so is my disbelief.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
uh, but
Good.
yeah, and but I love that scene where he jumps on it, and Tommy Lee Jones, he's so proud. It's like there's so much like layers to his character with very minimal screen time, and a really good actor can do that to you.
Yeah.
He get a sense of like how proud he is when he won't even admit it. Like right then, like it could not be more obvious. Steve Rogers is the guy for the job.
Yeah.
Everyone else fled. He threw his body on top of the grenade to save everyone, to
Mm,
like help contain the explosion. I don't know what
right.
good his skinniness would do,
Yeah.
but um, he's just like, well, he's still skinny.
Yeah.
Like
That's kind
I'm
of
still
like
right about that.
it's kind of like the ultimate masculine father figure. It's like that's people like you
Yeah,
expect your dad to be kind of cold because he expects so much. His standards are so high. He expects so
yeah,
much of you that even
yeah,
but whenever they do give you something, it's like, oh fuck, like that meant so much. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. One of my favorite lines in this movie is while we're just talking about Tommy Lee Jones. I think my favorite scene and then my favorite line in the movie are both his. My favorite scene in the movie is when they've captured the evil scientist guy and Tommy Lee Jones walks in with the dinner.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's about that
That's a
scene
really good
just
scene.
two actors who have clearly not been hired for their looks.
Yeah,
They've been
they
hired.
fucking knock it out of the park, both of them. They
Yeah,
might be the
and
two best fucking actors other than that professor guy.
yeah, Stanley Tucci. I mean,
Yeah.
again, that little guy. He's been a lot of things. I cannot remember his name. He was in the Mist, the movie version of the Mist. He was good in that. Um, but he's got a very creepy little. Yes, I'm a German scientist. I
He was
don't know
born
how
for
to.
this role. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like it's not a
kind of.
compliment to be born for that, but he was fucking born for it. You know?
You can take that as a compliment. I
Right.
guess it's not.
It's
It's
kind of
not
like
meant
the
to.
guy that it's kind of like the guy that plays Ernest. What's his name? He was born to play that role. Like it
Yeah.
sucks because he's a great guy, but he was born to play that role.
It's
He's
like
like,
you weren't
shut
getting
up and
famous.
make another Ernest movie, you son of a bitch.
um,
What about Beverly Hillbillies? No.
no.
Ernest.
Uh, but there's just something about that scene, the back and forth between them. We learn a lot about Hydra sitting there. He's like, we've
Why
never
is
taken
why
Raven
is there
alive.
blood on the floor or whatever? That's the only part I didn't understand. He looks
I
at blood on the floor or something.
It's like an interrogation room, and either it was strategically left there to scare everyone who's put in the room, because immediately you're captured by some people. They throw you in an interrogation room, and there's blood on the floor. So the first thing you think is they fucking killed somebody in here.
Yeah. But it wasn't
Whoever,
a whole lot of blood, though, was it? It was only
it was just,
like a speck. But
I mean,
I
I
mean,
guess you can't
enough.
show buckets of blood. There was probably some argument over how much blood they could show. How
Yeah.
much is too much?
Oh, what is it? Is it rated PG-13?
I think it's a PG-13 movie. I think
Okay.
most of these are PG-13 at
Yeah.
the most.
Hell,
At the
it might be PG, huh?
There's not a lot of cussing in it, and
Oh,
you
now that we're talking about it, yeah.
for all the guns being fired, you don't see a lot of bullets strike home, and when you do, it's just like fall over dead.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm gonna give it a Google real quick.
Yeah, but I love that scene. It's just so well acted, and
Yeah, that is when he fucking takes the steak and he won't eat it and he spins it around. Uh,
yeah.
man, just the whole thing is good. He says something really funny, right? Oh, it's like I bought you dinner or brought you dinner or something. I like how he instantly starts eating it. Like the second he
Yeah,
doesn't want it, he's eating it already.
yeah,
he's like fuck it, I'm gonna get some.
because he's not bullshit. It's hard as fuck to get a good steak out there in the middle of nowhere. Like the supply
Yeah,
lines. Um,
it's rated
but
PG-13.
yeah, it's kind of
Yeah,
what I figured. Because they do shoot guns, and that's a little weird
yeah,
for a
yeah.
movie.
Whenever the
It's
doctor gets shot, you see him like come through the other side almost. I think.
yeah,
No, it just shows him in the front, but it's like there and it kills him. It's in his fucking heart or
yeah.
something. He has blood coming out of his mouth.
That's really violent, especially when you think about like how Marvel movies have gotten in the last few years. Watching a man just get shot 3 times in the chest,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I
pah, pah.
swear, dude. Like that's like me. I would buy that movie is rated R or G or PG. Like I'm so numb to shit. I don't know. Like fucking people getting raped and shit. I'm like fuck it. I don't give a fuck. You know. And then especially like it depends on what era that you watch. Like if you go watch like Indiana Jones, like that movie's rated like fucking G or some shit or
Yeah,
PG something
people are
like that.
killed by airplane propellers and crushed by like rock smash.
Yeah. Yeah, we've really changed what we've decided that young people can watch, and I don't know if it's for the better.
The whole end of the movie is nothing but faces melting. That's the whole
Yeah,
end of the movie. Everyone
yeah,
knows this. This is just faces melting. That's rated
right.
G.
It's like our culture. It's you have the father archetype and the mother archetype, and the father archetype is like you need to watch this. Don't look away. You got to look at this fucked up shit. The
See it.
world's hard, and the mother
Yeah,
archetype, yeah. And if you let that go too far, it's bad. But the mother archetype's like, no, he's not ready to leave the house, and he's like
see it.
19. Yeah.
Yes.
And he's
The
like,
old
he
man is like,
can't breathe. If you let
you take
either go
it.
too far, it's bad. But we've just decided that just the male archetype is bad. Let the female one just run fucking rampant. It's fine.
Just run crazy. Just run crazy. If we haven't identified, it's like that's. There's no smoking gun. There's no way to detect exactly when it's gone too
Yeah.
far. So it just gets to go as far as it wants.
Right. It's like that fucking thing that Jordan Peterson was talking about in one of his podcasts recently, where he was saying, I forget what group it was, but he was saying that what we've done to protect like a certain minority group, it may have saved one for every 1,000 that it's doomed, like 1,000 people that it's doomed. And that
Yeah.
is like something that's like a father like grabbing your head, like, look at it. You know what I mean? But then the mother archetype's like, no, it's okay. Just don't look. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like both of them are harsh. Whether you don't look or
Yeah.
you look, it's
Yeah.
harsh either
It's like,
way. But there's value in
understand
both.
it. Be as simple as safety and fun. Like we have to understand that safety isn't any more important than fun, or like safety versus freedom, probably a better idea. Like we shouldn't like diametrically oppose these concepts and try to force one to have a final victory over the other.
Right.
We they're both important, but neither one is more important than the other. It's like
Yeah.
good is freedom if everyone just dies today because the world is so fucked. It's like,
Right.
well, I enjoyed the 10 seconds of freedom you had before you died. And it's no good to live in a completely safe society where you just live in a little bubble and eat your bugs. You eat
Right.
the bugs at you today. That's no good.
Yeah.
Uh, you're not allowed to go outside today. Sorry, we decided it's a yellow day. No one goes outside on yellow days.
Yeah, I heard somebody say something that was like I forget, it might have been, I can't remember, but he was saying that somebody was saying that they would speak out whenever they got that whenever they're like, oh, things are just a little rough right now. When things get more steady, then I'll speak out about this stuff that's going on. And he was like, man, like things. Do you think that as things get easier, you gets easier for you to speak out? Like you get tougher and more brave? Like that is not how that works. Like things get
No.
harder, and eventually, like you're painted to a corner, and then you speak out. Like if you're not ready
Yeah.
to speak out now, like you're not going to. Like
Yeah.
as things get better, you're just not going to at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, but uh, before I forget what I was, my favorite line in the movie was just
I
that
know. Yeah.
little part where they're chasing Schmidt. He's about to take off in the plane. They're in the car. They've had so many looks between him and her,
Mm.
and finally, it's the moment that like they have to kiss at some point, and they're in the car, and he's about to jump on, and she's like, "Wait!" and she grabs him and just lays one on him, and he's probably like, for all we know, this is the only kiss he's ever had,
Whack. Like
and
his fucking dick's like, wow.
it's
Oh,
like, well, great,
dude.
I do something
Fuck
super
yeah.
athletic.
Yeah. That's why he almost gets killed by that fucking thing. It's like he's got that kind where you can't fucking bend over like it's fucking.
She's like, "Go get him," and he kind of in a daze because you would be if she kissed you like that. You would be in a fucking daze.
Holy shit. Yeah.
Even a guy like that would be in a daze. He's kind of just his vision drifts over a little bit, and Tommy Lee Jones just goes, "I'm not kissing you.
Yeah. It doesn't even look at him. Yeah. I'm not
I'm not.
kissing. Yeah.
I'm not
Fuck yeah.
kissing." And it's like there's so many moments in Marvel. Like, we haven't really got there yet, but uh, where like a good moment is ruined by levity. Just where like tension or the villain being scary. Like in here's a great example of something we've already seen. Iron Man 2. The villain lands and he's like, I'm gonna bust his bunker with the ex-wife. And it's like it just farts and falls in the thing. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's in a vacuum, that's funny, but you're killing the tension. This is the wrong moment for that joke.
That's 100% true. Yeah, dude. The fucking that was a corny ass
Yes.
joke anyway.
He has to just stand there awkwardly, his head awkwardly moving inside that weird
Yeah.
robot.
Yeah.
His head awkwardly moving while it hits him, and he doesn't even really react to it. It just hits him, and he doesn't even look.
Yeah, like if it actually had been a fucking missile, like he would have been blown the fuck away because he doesn't have a face shield. He's just
Only
like,
reason,
oh, something really dangerous. Let me look right at it.
only reason the villain is alive at that moment is because the thing didn't work. He's such
Yeah,
an idiot. He just let himself get shot in the face by a fucking rocket.
like it goes so slow.
He watches it coming, like it has to
Yeah,
rev up, and he's just like head awkwardly moving.
yeah. What is that?
I don't know what the fuck is that came
I
out
know,
like.
dude. When I seen that scene, I was like, I know he's dead. Like I seen that, I was like, he's fucking dead. I was so sure of it.
Oh,
It's awful.
that's funny, but call it a comeback.
Yeah,
But in this movie, that little line where he says, "I'm not kissing you," that's a perfectly fine moment for the levity. We actually do need it. Like we just came from like a big action sequence where people were running and motorcycles were jumping and guys were sliding in on shit and there were flamethrowers going off and people getting shot in the face with shotguns and shit. We just it's like a big long chase clusterfuck of an action scene, and we're building up to the fight,
yeah,
the one-on-one fight between Cap and Red Skull, but they're not right in each other's faces. If they were right in each other's faces already, that's the wrong time for a joke.
yeah.
But if we're making the transition from chase to scene where they fight, that's
That's
the perfect
perfect.
place for a joke.
Perfect. Absolutely.
That's the
Yeah.
perfect place to break the tension and then build it up again as he
And
gets off of the ship.
also whenever he gets on the plane, it's like there's two stories going on through the thing, him and her, and there was a few
Mhm.
side stories, but really the main thing is him and her, and then him and the Red Skull guy. And then
Yeah,
they do the him and her thing, and then in order to keep you from thinking about her the whole goddamn time that he's gone his way to the front, they let a little laugh in there and it cuts it off, and then he gets on the
yeah,
plane and you're free from it. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's like
Perfect.
their story peaks, and we've just seen them kiss. Like this is the height
Yeah.
of between the two, their kiss. You throw a joke in there, it is. It's like a little cleaver that drops. And it's just like, okay, you're satisfied. Let's move on. It's
Yeah.
like throw it in there. Now we build tension again, and for this final
Yeah.
conflict.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
very well done. Perfectly placed. Like you can tell some people probably sat in a room and were just like, should we cut that? Should we cut that? Should we leave it in? I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know much. And then some, very smart decision. Leave it in.
Was there were they all the scene right before that where they almost kiss where his shield is stuck in the thing? They almost kiss and she's like, "Oh, you shouldn't you get your that or something?" And he runs and he grabs the shield and like sticks it out.
That's another scene that just watching it today. I was watching. I'm so glad you said that. Her face, man. Like
It's insane.
if it's like if she had the mental ability to stop time,
Yeah.
if she had that ability, like some secret superpower, Agent Carter could just freeze time. She would tear Cap's clothes off and bang
Yeah.
him on the ground right there. Like
Dude,
she's so into Cap in that moment.
literally for watching this movie, like I'm gonna be sitting in front of the mirror in there trying to make faces and like convince myself.
How do I let someone know? Trying to use a woman in a
Oh,
bar
let's like,
trying
no,
to
I
make
want
it.
to fuck him just for my face. How was she
If
doing
I
that?
if I could freeze time and fuck you, I would face.
Yeah. How does the guy do that?
What muscles is she using for that?
Oh,
what,
fuck.
what exercise do I have to do to build those muscles up?
Yeah, god damn it.
But God, man, she walks up to him and she has to snap him out of it. It's like she draws him in with her face, and he's just like, "Is this gonna happen right now?" And
Yeah.
she's like, "Something to do." He's like, "Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, Chase Red
Yeah.
Skull."
Well, just like
It's
the way that her face are, you know that part where him and his friend that falls out of the fucking trainer standing there and she's like giving him all the faces and he's getting none of the faces? You would
yeah.
just from the face. You're like, I ain't get none of that shit's for me. Because of fucking the way her face is lit up and shit. Like, god damn.
Yeah, and she puts it
Yeah.
on him, man.
She's giving you
Face.
those spank bank looks. Like you're gonna be fucking wearing that thing out around bedtime, you know?
Yeah, she just with the eyes, man. Just
Yeah.
looking at you, you're gonna think about me tonight. Like
Yeah.
buy some. She's like, buy some lotion on the way home. You'll need it.
Yeah, it's like voodoo.
You're gonna jerk
I
off
got
to me.
me. Yeah. Do a little dance. Oh man.
Oh, but yeah. But overall, man, I think this movie is good as shit. It tells a great story. There's good action scenes.
The part
Um,
whenever they finally get to the fight, the fucking how it's kind of matrixy. It's like he hits the gear shift and like the plane starts to go down and
yeah,
they're like stuck
Z
to the
directed.
ceiling fighting. Yeah, it's cool as
I
shit.
even know there's like right as the fight opens, Cap swings the shield at him, and Red Skull dodges by like he leans really far back out of the way.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a really cool scene. Yeah.
yeah,
Is it like a
and
Matrix thing or something? You think like a
I think it
callback?
might be
Speaking of which, what about that part where it's like a fucking I forget the planet's name, but in Jedi, the Ewok planet, what's it called?
uh Endor.
Yeah, yeah. You know the part where they're like riding the speeders through there? That's how the fucking motorcycles are going through the forest. You know, like he's chasing, he's on the
Yeah,
bike and there's the forest, and then like they're running into trees and shit. I swear to God, it's like a callback to that or something.
yeah. It's you might be right. They might have been going for like
It's
a speeder through the Endor forest thing.
that's what it seems like. It's goofy acted.
His motorcycle, like I think we skipped like a scene was cut somewhere where Howard Stark was building this awesome motorcycle for Cap.
Yeah.
It's like these buttons, it shoots flames out the back, and it can like jump shit. It's got like a place for his shield to like lock in the front.
Fuck
It's like
yeah.
a super awesome fucking motorcycle.
Yeah.
Like the guy who played Howard Stark. It was really cool to see him in the movie.
Fuck yeah.
Because Tony mentions him and he sort of has a part to play in the second Iron Man film,
And you can
having
see where
discovered.
Tony gets it, like his quick
Yeah,
wits and his, when shit goes wrong, he always has something funny to say about it.
he's quite as sharp as Tony, but he's really sharp.
Is this still recording?
It says Travis is recording the call.
Okay, I can't see it, so I was just making
Yeah,
sure.
it says we're going. So
Cool. All right. I
I
don't
would
want another one of these situations.
just like reach off and just like pull a mallet.
Yeah. Bang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, like how many fuck ups have we had? We had the first one we forgot to record. The second we had recorded again, and then we recorded the third one and lost all of them anyway. And then we went with
Yeah.
Thor,
First
and it
one
took
stopped
4 months to
and
get
then
it
the
figured
second
out.
one,
Yeah.
yeah, second one again stopped recording in there somewhere, and we had to do it again, and then
Yeah.
we lost the technical issues, lost them before we could
Yeah.
post them,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, I don't want to record a third goddamn
Thor
uh,
or yeah, Iron Man.
podcast. I
Yeah.
we did it twice and
Yeah. We'll
lost
go
them.
back. We'll go back to it one day.
One
Those are
day
good movies anyway.
yeah, one
Yeah.
day when we can forget what we said before, and
Yeah.
it won't seem too much like redoing it. It'll seem like just another
Yeah.
conversation about the movie. Um, but um, the part where I like Bucky as a character, um,
I
he seems
thought
like a
I called him dying. I forget at what part, but I knew he was going to die at a certain point.
really.
Yeah, did you not call it? I
I mean,
forget I forget where it was at, but I remember I was like one of those moments where I was like, this guy's gonna fucking die. Oh, it's right before they jump on the train. They're talking about like their past or something, and they're like elbowing like, remember back in the day or whatever. I'm like, dude, this guy's gonna fucking die. Like, there's no reason for him to be like this close to this guy at this point.
it just reminds you about the fact that you've known me a long time, so everyone's really sad when I die in a minute.
Yeah, and like everybody else, nobody else is with him on the goddamn train, just him. And it's like, why are you here? Like I'm Captain
I
America,
just
bitch.
I just thought it was surprising because it's a Marvel movie, and like
The way he dies too.
none of Tony's friends don't die, and Thor's
Right.
friends don't. That one guy in Thor gets blasted out of a fucking diner,
Right. That's the thing. It's the
ragdoll, and
way
he
he
lands.
dies. Like people don't just superheroes don't let people fall very often.
And it just happens, man. Like
But
that
if they
bar
do, it's
just
gonna be somebody they know. If it's su- if so,
yeah.
yeah, if it's super, somebody dies like that to a superhero, it's gonna be like their fucking mom or something like that.
I love the scene where he's sitting down and she comes to find him. Because it's like it's a great way to look at it. It's like dialogue like that works great in a military movie. It's like she's like, "Did you respect him?" It's like, well, then, he made his own choices. Everything that happened, you got to give him the respect that he deserves as a man. Like he's a man. He was making his own choices. He was in a position he put himself in. He had total agency over his life. Don't disrespect him by like taking the responsibility on yourself, like he was
Yeah,
some helpless child or something. He was a grown man. He was a soldier, and this
yeah.
happens.
She's warming
But the
back up to. She saw the fucking the picture in his goddamn. Once she saw that, it's just like a
oh
flood.
man, yeah,
Yeah, she's ready to
um,
smash at that point.
yeah. It's
Cause
like
cause he kisses that fucking bitch from Game of Thrones.
yeah, he kisses
Dude,
Marjorie.
yeah, I mean, who could fucking come on now? Who could
Yeah,
turn that
it's like
down? Fuck.
he's like that part. It irritates you as a man because he's like trying so hard. He's trying harder than like realistically anyone would.
Oh, dude. Any normal
It's
guy would be brushing her teeth with their pee pee. Anybody else? But he's like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. No
he's
normal
like
dude's gonna do that.
she's like, "Oh yes, the women of this country." Oh, he's like, really, it's not a. Please don't
Yeah.
like.
What is it, the Chris Rock thing? A man can't run that fast. When pussy chases you, a man can't run that fast. It's really,
We
it's
can learn
fucking
to stop
true.
chasing it, and even that takes rehab. If it
Yeah.
chased us, we can't run that fast.
Oh, it got me. It got me.
It got me. I pulled a hamstring. Uh, but she pulls him into that kiss, man, and
Oh,
he's just
fuck
like,
yeah.
he just goes for like he doesn't like he doesn't even get his hands on her. He's just like hands back. He's just like, oh, this is.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kissing a minute though.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of gets caught up in it, and she walks in right at that moment, just enough to make it, and assumes the worst. And it's just one of those things where you're like, God damn, man, like he's
That's the
trying.
most
He's such
realistic part of the whole movie.
a.
She just catches him just like that. You're like, yep.
It's like, oh, you're gonna get caught.
Oh, absolutely.
You're gonna get caught. It's like, how do I not get? Oh, you're gonna get caught.
Yeah.
Like Forget that. How do I not? Like
Oh yeah, that's out.
yeah, she's just gonna. It's gonna be like that too. Like as soon as like you
As
didn't plan
soon as that happens,
on
yeah.
chasing, just a woman comes up to you and it's just like grabs you by the fucking head and tries to kiss you. Your woman's just gonna right then.
Yeah. That's so true, yeah.
She's just
God
gonna
damn
drop
it.
down like Spider-Man, just like
Yeah.
yeah. What's this? What's this going on here? Really? Good to kiss this little strumpet in the corner.
Yeah.
Uh,
She don't let him off easy either, does she? Then
it's
she
fucking
shoots him with that fucking against his shield. He just fucking like she even like she should the only thing she didn't do, she didn't turn the gun sideways.
yeah. Kill shot. Yeah,
Yeah.
she fucking shoots 3 or 4 bullets at him.
Yeah.
Vibranium shield, yeah.
It works.
Yeah. But uh she's I don't know, in a lot of movies, especially like these days, it can get real cringy real fast with like moments like this.
Mm.
But this movie somehow it handles it so well that in that moment you're not cringing when she pulls the gun out and shoots at him. You're just like, "Woo, that bitch is angry."
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah, that would have
because
got a good reaction in the theater. That's really what I was like. I didn't feel a whole lot, but I know that if you were sitting in the theater, like it would be like, ooh, or a lot of laughing or something.
I
Yeah.
mean, she would be fucking mad. She'd be mad as shit.
Yeah, she's a bad bitch. She shoots that one fucking dude in the head. Like it's like an explosion. She's like, oh fuck. And she still shoots him in the head. Remember that part? Like early in the movie?
uh,
There's like
oh yes, when
the
he
dude's yeah,
fucking
he gets in the cab. Yeah.
in his little cigarette lighter that blows up everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this is a perfect movie, but
Yeah.
cigarette lighter. He's driving away, and she just like aims and shoots a dude in the back of the fucking head
Yeah,
from
she
like
at first it's like
200
she can never
yards.
make that. And then there's like an explosion behind her, and then she just lines it up again, and then she shoots him, and he's like even further away.
Yes.
It's fucking awesome.
Uh, yeah, she's
Yeah,
bad. She's bad as hell.
yeah.
Uh,
I'm sure somebody out there, if somebody watches this, they're gonna be like, if they know a lot about guns, they're like, oh, you pistol could never fucking do that, and their fucking their heads
yes,
exploding. But
whatever.
gotta
No one gives a
gotta
shit.
get it.
Who gives a shit about that? It's like you gotta understand when you
It's
tell the
disappointing
something.
learning about how hard it is to be accurate with a gun from a long distance. Like that just made it be like, I'm never buying a fucking rifle. Like that sucks. I want to be able to
Yeah,
fucking shoot somebody from miles away. It's awesome, but
that's why everybody likes machine guns. It's like,
yeah,
would you want a gun that shoots bullets, or do you want a gun that shoots 50 bullets in 10 seconds?
yeah, fuck
It's
it.
like,
Yeah, you can
like how
miss.
do you miss?
Yeah, hell yeah. That's so terrifying.
It's like, yeah, hit what you aimed at.
Whatever you
You
pointed at, it's just
that
dead.
shit too.
Holy shit. Yeah. It's like that gun that bitch has, that old lady has behind that counter. She didn't land a
Like,
fucking one, does she? Oh fuck. She like lose it. She goes so fucking
uh,
high up in there with it.
yeah, it's like she's so old though. I don't even know if he needed to shoot her. That would have
Yeah,
happened
yeah,
anyway.
they shouldn't have given her that. Yeah.
Like Lisa in the ROTC episode of The Simpsons, where she's just like lifting off the ground with the gun.
Yeah. Yeah, it fucking
It's
knocks
like,
that bitch straight back.
there's war. Just blow the whistle, and I'll come save you.
Yeah.
But that whole chase sequence there, I love because it's like it's not just that he's figuring out how his body works, but we also have to see like how his powers work. We have to get an idea for how fast he is and how strong he is.
He can jump over a
And
fence. He can jump from roof to roof of the cars and all that.
I will say this. I will say this about this movie. A lot of this movie works. There's a little thing here there that doesn't, like the lighter that blows up everything. Although the tooth that pops out and crunches is a great touch.
Fucking
Like
hell. That is cool as shit. Yeah.
hell, that's yeah.
That was crazy.
There's a lot of great performances in this movie. I love that it's a period piece. Like I love the old timey cars and the black and white footage. I love that scene where they're watching like the newsreel of Cap in action, and she sees that her face is in his compass. When I watched that earlier, I like got a little like misty
Yeah, it's
because
sweet.
it's like back in the day, like that's how you show. And the part where the plane's about to crash, and he puts the compass up on the thing because he wants to see her face.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, like getting a picture of somebody was difficult. Like
Fuck
we're
yeah.
spoiled. We all have digital phones with infinite storage space in our pockets.
Yeah.
To get a picture of her and to have a picture of a woman in something that you were carrying around meant that like effort had to be put in, care had to be taken. This is the only picture of her he's got. It's like
That
this.
anybody has.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the only picture he owns of anyone.
Yeah.
But that just it's I don't know. So much of this movie works. She's amazing. Tommy Lee Jones is amazing. Chris Evans is great. The Stanley Tucci, the little guy who plays the professor, fucking Hugo Weaving. Like, think about Thor and Iron Man as our leads up to this. There are good people in those movies, but do they have like eight? Do those movies have eight great actors in them? Like, all,
It's like every key player in the fucking movie is great.
yes,
Yeah.
and they're bringing it. And
Even the
but I was
guy that's a douchebag that you talked about earlier, that's like the douchebag military guy that Tommy Lee Jones wants to be. He's like the man's man guy, but
yeah,
he's just they get punched, they gets punched.
yeah.
He does
You
good
know,
as
he's like,
that. Like he doesn't kill it,
choose
but he
me.
does good as that.
I got some moves I know you'll like. It's like,
Yeah, he's just a douchebag. Yeah,
yeah, but he plays that role fucking
really
great.
well. Yeah,
But in my opinion, something that makes Captain America so fun to watch as a character is that he can't fly and he can't like pick up a car and throw it. It's like he doesn't have laser beams or anything. It's there's something about being a superhuman but being a little more limited, like a little more grounded in this in the superpowers
yeah,
that makes it more fun to watch.
yeah.
Like
The
guy
threats are
tries
more real.
it's like you don't know what Thor would do or what Iron Man would do in the situation. Probably either kill the guy with a hammer or shoot him in the
Right.
face. But when the guy he throws him up onto the dock and comes up after him, he swings a knife at him and Cap just like jumps back and then like MMA like fucking what's his name Masvidal flying knees him in the face.
Yeah,
Like there's Iron Man would just shoot him and Thor would just crush him, but there's something extra cool about just that sort of limited superhuman ability. Like he has to flying knee him in the face, which to me is
yeah.
like the coolest way you could do it.
That yeah, and also like just from a story writing perspective, you can make so much more is so much more is dangerous. Like you have to go so much and so hard to threaten Thor and go so hard to threaten Iron Man. But for Captain America, you don't
Yeah,
have to go fucking
it's like
all crazy.
yeah, it's
I
like
mean, but he still managed to beat somebody that was doing some
yeah,
crazy shit. But
yeah, and there's something. I mean, like he had to get in the right shape, and they had to handle it right. How high can he jump? How much can he lift? What kind of damage can he take? And it comes off so well. And I in future movies they do an even better job.
yeah,
Um, like you can really wrap your head around how strong Cap is
and what
and
would
how
kill
fast
him?
he is
Yeah,
and what would kill. And it's like weird, like as like that inner child you're watching, it's easier to imagine you are Captain America because he's doing slightly more realistic things.
yeah,
It's not it's full blown crazy.
yeah,
Um, like I mean, he does crazy things, but like I don't know. There's a moment in the next Captain America movie where he like runs and there's like locked double doors in front of him and he just runs and shoulder checks and just takes the doors off the hinges as he runs through. It's like like the Incredible Hulk or Thor or Iron Man can fly through brick walls, but there's
yeah.
something impressive about just watching someone just check it and just knock a door off its hinges like it's made of paper.
Yeah.
Because you can more easily wrap your mind around the kind of physical strength that would take. As
Yeah.
soon as someone's juggling elephants, it becomes a little
Yeah, like the
cartoony.
laws of physics start to break down around them. Yeah.
You can sort of understand the mechanics of how Cap is doing what he's doing, and it makes it a little more fun to watch. I think it's and his not just that. I mean, Captain America is probably the character I liked the least going in, kind of like you. But like watching the movies, it's like I don't know, man. I think Cap is my favorite.
Yeah, I
He,
like it.
it's hard to say anyone's cooler than Tony, and it's hard to say that anybody's a better character than Iron Man. But I don't know. It's like I got a soft spot for Captain America.
Yeah. That's how I feel coming out of this movie. Just like,
Yeah,
man, I did a complete 180. I didn't know anything about Captain America. I knew he had a shield and I knew it was Captain America. I was
yeah,
like, that just sounds fucking lame, but no,
yeah.
he's fucking badass. The story was
Yeah,
cool.
he's
I like the
badass, and
time frame, like all the stuff in the I mean now he's gonna be in the present now, but all the stuff back then was super
yeah,
cool. I'm so glad that it took place back then. It was or it's kinda like an alternate reality back then, but
gives it a distinct look amongst all the Marvel movies. Uh, it looks different. It's got a different feel than the other movies just because it takes place in a different time.
yeah.
That just that period piece, like kind of like that noir kind of a like everything's kind of dusty. Like there's a dusty yellow everywhere, and that's kind of why she stands out so much in the red dress, or why the Red Skull stands out so much when he takes his mask off.
That car that Stark like let's float for a few minutes at that one scene where that girl is watching, he tries to like give her a peanut or something, and she's just like, get the fuck out of here. I hate that. Let's smack it, bitch.
Yeah.
But that car reminds me of what's that video game that where you get the suits and
Bioshock.
yes, BioShock. That's what it reminds me of. Yeah, yeah, kind of like a
Yes.
BioShock. Yeah.
Or the hover technology. That's right. I've that's always reminded me of something, and I've never been able. That's what it reminds me of. It's like something
Yeah.
from.
Yeah, because it's like old timey, but like it's a different kind of. Oh, it's like an alternate
Yes,
old timey.
yes. There's a bio. There's yeah. That's good. God damn. Good point. It's like the old timey futuristic
Yeah,
fusion things that are
yeah,
still possible now attached to like a 1940 Oldsmobile.
yeah.
It's like
It's cool.
it's fucking cool. It's got a style to it. It's really nice.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah, man, this movie has a special place in like my rankings of like Marvel movies. I don't know if it's top 5, but it's damn close.
yeah. I've
Uh,
only seen what 4 now, so
mhm.
for me, I don't know. It's probably number 3 now. So I could see it coming off the top 5. There's a lot of fucking movies left. But
A lot of movies left, and
yeah,
Avengers is amazing.
yeah. I
Uh,
can't wait. I was always thinking that's another thing, because I'm coming into this so blind. I thought that the Avengers was like fucking 10 people, at least five.
I
It's
mean,
like
balloons up, team.
yeah,
It
it gets
balloons up.
bigger.
You know,
Yeah, but
yeah,
right
it
now
gets
it's but
bigger
the first one is 3.
well, 4 if you include the Hulk. I think they're
Okay,
really
so
like
he'll come in there. He'll come
yeah.
in at some. Okay.
Uh, um, and then I guess you can include Black Widow and Hawkeye, even though they're not nearly as super as If you had 4 friends who were dressing up, South Park even did this. I mean, 4 friends dressing up for Halloween this year. You know who they are. They're Hulk, Cap, Iron Man, Thor. That's who they are. No one is Hawkeye. No one is Nick Fury. No one is Black Widow. You're those 4. That's who you are.
Yeah.
But um, I love the end of the movie. I love the way the movie ends. He's got the little thing on the
Oh, that
dashboard.
part is heartbreaking.
He makes the sacrifice play. They're
I
talking
like
to
that.
each.
Yeah, and it cuts out in the middle of the conversations, which makes it more realistic. It doesn't cut
Yeah,
out like right after the best line or something.
yeah. It's in the middle of some. He's saying something, and it
And
cuts out
just
right.
like and just like whenever he wakes up or whatever in the future, it's in the middle of their thing. Like he got a kiss,
Yeah,
that's it. It's in the middle of their thing. That's like
yeah,
life. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
And
good.
it's like, again, she gets you with that face, man. She cries, and it's like she's Tommy Lee Jones is back there, and it's like he gives her space. You know,
Yeah.
kind of she really feels alone in that moment. You know, as there's just static coming through the
I
radio.
was hurt, man. Whenever he woke up at the 70, I was like, man, somebody else smashed that thing to bits while he was gone. You know? She was
How
an
do you
old
live up
bitch.
though? Yeah.
No. I know that's what he was thinking. He's like, fuck all those looks.
I mean,
Damn it.
the, when you're frozen for 70 years, it gives a new meaning to the word blue balls, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
He's
yeah, he
all the
wakes.
spank bank's all he's got now.
I love that scene where he wakes up because Cap's got a lot. You know, he's not brilliant like Tony. He couldn't build a laser gun or anything like that. But he's not stupid. He's got that sort of street smart, maybe what you'd say perceptive, you know, and it's like he doesn't miss a beat. Uh,
Yeah.
he wakes up and he's just like, "Where am I?" She's like, "Oh, you're in a recovery room in New York," and he just looks and he's like, "Where am I really?
Yeah.
You're
He's
lying
like,
to me. I know
yeah,
you're lying to
this
me.
is wrong.
I
Yeah.
was at this baseball game. You're full of shit." And he stands up and she gets that look where she's just like, "This guy could tear my arms off in 2 seconds."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Captain Rogers, please don't kill me."
Yeah.
And he busts out and runs into the street, and it is heartbreaking. You feel like your stomach drop when he runs out onto the street, and it's 21st century New York, and he's just out of his element.
He
Everyone he knows
handles
is
it really well whenever the guy starts talking to him. What's his name? No, it's Sam Jackson. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, yeah, hold on, just give me a second. He's looking around. He's fine.
Like, he's like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "I had a date."
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what he's
and
thinking
it's
about.
yeah, and
That's what
it's
I'd be thinking about. He might be able. That one girl from Game of Thrones, she would be like 100, but she might give him like a fucking hand job or something back in the day.
you get the Queen of Thorns to play her.
Yeah,
Like, what are you doing? Just juggle these saggy old boobies in your
yeah, you can sit over there.
sit across the room and just have at them, you brute, you. Yes.
She's climbing up the fucking flagpole. Oh fucking hell!
As soon as I saw her, I knew she was dead. I knew she
Yeah.
was
Oh my god,
dead.
that's great.
Uh, well, that's Captain America, man.
Fuck yeah.
Final thoughts?
Uh,
The movie? Anything that bugged you?
um, no, I don't think so. I was just so surprised. I think the second half of the movie is worse than the first. I'll say that, but I don't know exactly why. But
I
the
think
first half is better.
the first half is great. It's a great story arc. It's a great hero's journey.
It's
Um,
fun letting just diving into the world and
yeah,
introduce all the characters, but then at tying
yeah.
shit up is work. That's
It's
all work.
it's a montage of things that happen somewhere in the middle. Like after he breaks the people out of prison, it's like we go into montage mode for a second before we get on the train,
Yeah.
and I feel like we didn't need it. I kind of
Yeah.
feel like
That's
could have
about
gone.
where it does. Yeah, once he goes and does his like first mission and he starts coming back with them and they think he's
Yeah,
dead or whatever, that's
it's a
from there on. It's
it
not
gets
bad, it's different.
like the ending picks it back up. It's really
Yeah.
great, and just a little bit in there in like I guess you'd call that the end of the second act, I
Where
suppose.
they're letting him be super. They're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
he can do super stuff," and
it's like
this
I
and
kind of
that.
feel like it we're seeing him be super and we're seeing him do things, but I feel like we put a pin in the story
Yeah.
for
So he
like
can be
50,
super. Yeah.
then pull the pin out right when Bucky drops off the train. It's like, okay, story's moving again. And
Yeah.
you feel it. You feel like they pause the story to show you a montage of action, and then
Yeah.
they pen out to let the story go again.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize it was exactly there, but I think that's right. That's the way I feel
Yeah,
about it too.
that's how I feel every time I watch it. It's just like I almost want to skip, fast forward a few minutes, and get to the
You wouldn't
train.
miss anything.
Wouldn't miss anything.
It's
There's nothing.
Captain America
Nothing.
kicking ass.
Don't need any of it. It's just a montage of scenes of. It's like, well, we have to see him jump on more things and fight more things. It's like I
Yeah.
feel like, you know, I just might have cut it and gone straight to the maybe give one more
It would make
scene.
the movie more reasonable time too, because I think it's just over
It's a little
2 hours or something.
yeah, it's longer than Thor. I think we, you know, I don't think the movie needs to be as long as it is. I think that would, you know, bump it up a notch. I think it would be like unquestionably top tier Marvel movie if it just had the screws tightened just a little there.
Yeah.
Apart from other little nitpicky things like the guy's lighter blowing up everything, except for when he needs it to bring the submarine up, it does that too.
Yeah.
How does he not blow the submarine up? It's like, is there a certain amount of things? It's like, okay, if I hit it once, it blows something up. Twice, it blows something up. 5 times, blows something up. 6 times, raises the submarine. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. He's got to be
I
fucking careful with that
understand.
fucking thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, how many have I done? How many have I done? It's
Yeah.
like, and it's
Yeah. And he also can't eat ever because he's fucking his tooth. He can lick his tooth out. You don't eat a fucking sandwich.
his, if his tongue is strong enough to pull the tooth out,
God damn.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, you
He ain't
better not
eating
chew
shit.
on them.
No.
Yeah, it's like, he has to drink all of his fucking meals.
Yeah. Oh, where's my
So
tooth?
you fucking swallow it. Swallow the tooth.
You know it would be happening all the time. He's like,
Ah,
2 more will come because one of them's gonna be fucking dead. One of them's gonna die at the buffet.
look, I swallowed his tooth for breakfast. We gotta train.
That's why
That's
there's
why
a fucking Hydra.
you
Yeah.
have to train too, because there's always gonna be somebody that accidentally eats his fucking tooth.
Oh, that's so true. Fucking
Ah,
hell. Oh my god. Oh, that's so
oh,
good.
that's funny. I think yeah,
Yeah.
but all in all, man, I'd say like out of 10, maybe like I don't know, 8, 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah. I'd give it up there. Yeah. I've
Yeah,
enjoyed the fuck out of it.
everyone just for the cast, man, and the dialogue's good, and very little about this movie to make fun of. Just it's very nitpicky, especially for a superhero movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
It's a great lead-in for Avengers, being that like the Tesseract is the uh, sort of MacGuffin of the movie.
The thing that ate through the floor of the ship and fell.
Yes, and
That's
that's a
what they're
great thing.
wanting.
Didn't even mention that the first time someone actually touches it with their hand in the movie, it's like we're learning what this thing is as the movie goes on. It's a energy source that can power these weapons. The first time someone actually touches it, like it's different. Like the fucking galaxy opens up overhead. It looks a lot like the Bifrost or where
Yeah.
Loki, and then it like slowly, like maybe it's disintegrating him, and then this beam of light shoots up into the galaxy, like up into the space, and then the thing he's gone, and the thing just drops and just slowly eats through the fucking ship, and it just he's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck is that?
Then it's a great way to like introduce the Tesseract just as an object at the end of Thor.
Yeah,
It's like
it makes sure you watch it fall through the thing, and you're like, somebody's
yeah.
gonna grab that fucking thing.
And then you watch Captain America and you start to understand what this thing it has some capabilities, but you don't know exactly what. And then you understand like from the end of Thor, they have it in Shield. You watch the Avengers trailer at the end of this movie, you kind of like, you know, what does the Tesseract have to do? Like what where is this going? And it's so smart. Like I can't wait till we watch Avengers and put these threads together to like where the story is going.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Avengers. I enjoyed the fuck out of this. We're
Yeah,
gonna
me
keep
too.
doing these more often, man. Got
Yeah,
off to a
yeah.
slow start,
Now
but
that
we're
we
gonna start pumping
now that
these
we
out.
figured out, yeah, now that we figured out what the fuck we're doing a little bit.
Yeah, and we're gonna keep getting quality better and timing
Yeah,
better. We're gonna get
yeah,
this fucking thing going, man. I'm enjoying it.
yeah. Well, that was Captain America.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
fucking yeah, man.
yeah, man. Uh, can't wait to
This
talk
was
about it.
fun, dude. I laughed my
Yeah,
fucking ass off.
yeah. It's like 2:30 in the morning, and I'm
Hopefully,
pumped.
Yeah. Hopefully somebody watches this and they enjoy it too. We enjoyed making
Yeah.
it.
By the way, to those 36 people that watched the previous one, hey,
Yeah, hell yeah. I know that's
I
right.
hope one or two of you made it to the end.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hell yeah, we
but yeah,
appreciate it.
we'll see you again.